Does anybody have any idea about who or what this is?
I don't know, but I'll bet I never asked to look for a can opener.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't mind me gawping at my lovely armed assistant with a particular pair of firearms I'm going to study in much more infinite detail later on. No, folks, today we're talking about Dragon Age, the Veilguard, yet again. How is this possible, Jace? Well, thanks to my friend across the ocean, Mr. Smash JT himself, he dropped a fantastic article about the catastrophic non-player count for the Veilguard. Now, I did a video about this last week. It got a lot of eyes on the prize, funny enough, so I do like making videos about this. BioWare, by the way, again, one of my most cherished companies. Again, Mass Effect, that new game coming out, whether it's going to be Mass Effect 4 or 5 or just plain old Mass Effect, restarting that universe again, I think it might have a... Well, listen, I'm going to mention Jean-Luc Picard here from Star Trek because I think if they're still making that new Mass Effect game, they're going to have to learn the lessons of that Amazon series. But without further ado, folks, we're going to get into today's video. Make sure you hit that like button, maybe smash that join button. But one button I do like to press is this one right here. Oh yeah. So here we are, folks, at Smash JT's article, which I'm going to deviate from in a short while, but the headline is fantastic. Dragon Age, the Veilguard, flops hard again on PlayStation Plus. Now, I did talk about this last week because that ridiculous Amina Khan wrote a hit piece defending the lack of players on the PlayStation for this game. I've got to turn off Steam here now because it's annoying me with silly notifications. Piss off, Steam. I'll speak to you later on. But this is the article, folks, that we need to look at. Again, thanks to Smash. TrueTrophies.com. More PS Plus subscribers played old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games than Dragon Age. The Cowabunga Collection had the biggest PS Plus Essential debut in March, obviously the current month that we're in, right? Surpassing the big headline PS5 game, which is hilarious. So Lee Brady published this article on the 10th of March with Dragon Age the Veilguard having been released for PS5 less than 6 months ago. Yes. You might have thought it would easily draw the most attention-seeking bored gamers out there amongst the monthly games. Not so, as it happens. Instead, it looks more like subscribers felt like revisiting some arcade classics while they can still grab TMNT, the Cowabunga Dude collection on the PS Plus Essential. And what is really funny, using a gameplay data sample from over 3.4 million active PSN accounts, courtesy of our partnership with Game Trends, which draws most of its PSN data from sources beyond True Trophies. We track the player count of every PS5 and PS4 game to produce our weekly PlayStation chart, which you can find at the bottom of this article, or at the article of this bottom.
She got jumped in the subway. I had to bring her here.
It's the news lady.
Can we keep her?
On this week's chart, pop pickers, not only will you find newcomer Split Fiction landing in at number 24, a strong debut from the new PS5 co-op game, but also the 3 PS Plus monthly games for March of 2025. Charting just ahead of it, you've got Sonic Colors Ultimate looking sharp at number 20, Dragon Age the Veilguard at dun 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 at number 15, so he couldn't even crack the top 10. In fact, that Cowabunga collection is at number 14. Good grief. Yes, despite the latest DAV RPG having basically just launched on the PlayStation 5, the AAA BioWare adventure couldn't quite compete with the popularity of TMNT. Oh, never mind. By the end of the week, 8.2% more PS subscribers have booted up the Cowabunga collection in hopes of taking home this month's easiest PS Plus Platinum trophy. And look, I've seen glimpses of this game. It looks absolutely fun. I don't see why many people wouldn't gravitate to playing that again. I mean, why wouldn't you? To be honest, I think having the option to play TMNT for an hour, I know I could comfortably move on to something else, was the biggest reason I checked it out over Dragon Age the Veilguard. Honestly, I'm surprised even this many PS Plus subscribers were happily diving headfirst into a game as demanding as DATV. I'm looking forward to playing it someday, but this week? Nah, bro, I'm just checked out. Oh, he wants to play Metaphor ReFantasia. Nah, man, I didn't even know he wrote nah, man, I just saw that. I need a bit more time, a bit more warning before squeezing that into my schedule. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Lee Brady, you can always squeeze these if you have a problem finding out what to do in your next line of your schedule bookmarking. If it wasn't for the fact I had a gaming buddy over at my place, I probably wouldn't have made time for those TMNT arcade games either. Good grief, I tell you what, in this article, he's really roasting BioWare. Besides, I also probably have to catch up and play Dragon Age Inquisition before DATV, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one who faced that dilemma last week. There's a little bit of sarcasm here, actually. I quite like this. So yeah, perhaps it's not so surprising that more PS Plus subscribers decided to add this one to their collection and spend more time with Turtles instead. The thing is, Armina Khan, that article writer, if you want to call her that, from PlayStationLifestyle.net, whatever you call it, she downloaded the game, but it's just lying there in a digital collection, gathering virtual dust. She's not going to play it. She wants to say she's got it because one day she might play it. You know when that might be? When the whole world gets locked down again by another made-up virus along the way, or a manufactured one. That's what I think is going to happen. And Lee Brady's article is actually hilarious because, it's contradictory at the same time, because you've got to think about it this way. If DATV was actually bringing in lots of players and it was outdoing the TMNTs, he would actually say, you know what, I'm going to play this game the weekend coming. But he's not going to do that. He would rather play Metaphor ReFantasio, but he wants to look at it before he dives into it. So he's dismissing DATV, which is great, but at the same time, if that was actually doing big banger numbers, he would be singing a different tune. Now, here are my final thoughts, folks, about the new Mass Effect game that they're working on currently at BioWare Studios. Because I mentioned at the beginning of this video Season 3 of Picard on Amazon Prime, because the first 2 seasons were absolutely appalling, but they managed to resurrect fan feeling and enticing the old Star Trek Luke Picard fans back into the fray by getting the old crew again, or for the most part they did. So if they want to do that with a new Mass Effect game, it's time to get out the member berries. I know that's a tried and tested formula to win back fans. Obviously Marvel are desperately doing that right now with Daredevil on Disney Plus and a new Doomsday movie with Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I don't know if that's going to work. Robert Downey Jr. needs to put on some weight. The man is losing so much poundage because he's now a vegetarian and so emaciated, something I'll never become. So if you want to bring back the old crew, and I know that's going to be a bit weird, right? How can you bring back Krogans and other the Quarians, that's right. I'm just saying things off the top of my fluty-wooty head right now. But yeah, you bring back those species again, you're going to have to do some serious retconning, right? I guess maybe Liara Tassoni might discover the gift of going back in time. I mean, she's a crazy scientist woman after all, so I can see that possibly happening. Whether that's enough to bring people back and trust Bioware is another thing altogether. I'm willing to bet they won't learn their lessons of DAVT. I think it's going to be more of the same with the new Mass Effect game, but that's just me spitballing, folks. Begin the begin, the begin, la 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 la. I like Julio Iglesias sing to the ladies because of all the women he and I have loved before. Although, didn't he sing that song with Willie Nelson? Which is a rather odd combination, if you ask me. But if you ask me something, folks, if you enjoyed this video today, and quite clearly you have been, because I've been getting subscribers galore, then make sure you leave a like below. Smash that subscribe button. Imagine that there are a big pair of titties like this woman right here. And I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video. God, my hands can't stop. I can't stop.
So, I'm non-binary.